Hello everyone, it's good to see you here once again on Dee's Delights. It was a beautiful day out today in the mid-70s and sunny. And you might be thinking, well Tanya, this is in November. How was it in the 70s and sunny? Well, today I'm recording this on September the 5th. This is my daughter's recipe that she gave me. It's called Pot Cajun Chicken Alfredo. And the recipe calls for some different ingredients, and she helped me a little bit. Also showed me some handy dandy quick things in order to peel the garlic and do different things like that. So my daughter, she went to school for hospitality management, and a lot of that time she was in the kitchen cooking, so she knows a lot about cooking in the kitchen. Me, I've cooked all these years, but I've always used basic things. I have never done too much other than basic foods. Me, I just peel the garlic, unlike my daughter who showed me a handy dandy thing, which probably most of you already know this, to get a big knife and just push it firmly on the garlic. Whoops, see, and I dropped it on the floor. Sorry folks, thankfully it still has the peel on it. And then it just makes it easy to peel it. So it just comes right off. So just a little handy dandy thing for you to know if you don't already know it. We're going to get started here. The recipe calls for 4 tablespoons of olive oil. That's 1/4 cup. So we'll get this. I just have Great Value brand olive oil. Just says classic, nothing fancy. So I'm going to pour that out and set it aside. Okay, we got that ready. A pound of chicken cut into bite-sized pieces. So I just got a buy one, get one free at Giant Eagle. They had 2 chicken breasts in there, boneless. So I cut it up into bite-sized pieces. Ready to go. Calls for 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. I happen to have some kosher salt. That's hard to say, kosher salt. I happen to have some in my cabinet. My daughter substitutes regular salt, so that's up to you, whatever you do. This is just a little bit coarse. And freshly ground black pepper to taste. I'm just going to use regular black pepper. It doesn't say an amount. It's a matter of what you like, so you put as much or as little of it in as you like. 14 ounces of smoked sausage. But I got 14 ounces of Polska kielbasa. Hillshire Farm comes right in a 14-ounce pack. You do what you like, but that's what I put in it. So the Polska kielbasa. 4 cloves of garlic, which I have here. And I'm going to dice those up here in just a moment. 1 quart, it says low sodium chicken broth. I'm just using the regular, and she does too. 2.5 cups of heavy cream. I got some heavy whipping cream at Giant Eagle. 2.5, usually they have them in a 2-cup one or a 4-cup, so I had to do the 4-cup. And you can get it cheaper, usually at Walmart, but just to let you know. 1 pound of penny pasta, and it is not to be cooked at this point. So 1 pound, I got the Barilla. I don't know if that's how you say that, but that's what I got. 1.5 tablespoons of Cajun seasoning, and I'll measure that out here shortly. I got the McCormick brand. 4 ounces of Parmesan cheese. It says freshly shredded. Well, without thinking, when I went shopping, I just had regular Parmesan. 4 ounces is quite a bit, but Lindsay happened to have a couple ounces, and she gave me a block of Parmesan cheese, so I shredded it a little bit. So I have half shredded, half grated. Next time I make it, I'll know to get a big block of it, and we'll have all shredded. And then Italian parsley. And Lindsay says she uses fresh parsley. I am not going to buy fresh parsley because I didn't think about it when I went to the store. So I'm just going to use parsley flakes. And it calls for 1/4 cup of fresh parsley minced. So if that calls for a quarter of a cup, it's going to be equivalent to about, you would do a third of that for the flakes. So let's get started. It says first start with a large cooking pot that has a lid. Season chicken with salt and pepper and brown in olive oil over medium heat. So we're going to start that. I'm going to pour my olive oil in here, let it get hot. I'm going to try not to spill it. So we'll turn it on to medium heat. Let that get hot. I'm going to measure out my salt. And it doesn't call for much. It only calls for half of a teaspoon. That's not much. Okay, half of a teaspoon. I'll get that ready. And just a little bit of pepper we'll put on that. Not much. See if I can do that without spilling that over. I'm going to get a spatula. Get that ready to put the chicken in. And this is the first time I'm making this, folks, so hopefully it turns out as good as Lindsay's. Because she's made it numerous times. It's one of Jack's favorite meals. And I'm making this tonight. It's about 10 after 8 in the evening, and it'll be for Doug's lunch tomorrow. So let's hope he likes it. I'm sure he will. Who couldn't like chicken Alfredo? Put my garlic in here. Now see if I can get it out of there. That's really not a lot of garlic, but really, I don't like my food to have too much garlic. Lindsay is a garlic fan. She can eat garlic just on noodles, anything. She loves it. Not me. Okay, I'm going to try this, see if it's hot enough yet. Tell you what. Let's see why. Nope, it's not hot enough yet. We'll wait for a moment. So how's everybody been? You ready for fall? Fall is one of my favorite times of year. I love the weather. It's cool at night, still warm in the day until we get into late fall. But today was just perfect. I could live with in the mid-70s at night, 50s. I mean, I could live with mid-70s during the day, 50s at night. I could go with that year round if you didn't mind not swimming. Okay, let's measure this out to 2.5 cups. And that is some thick cream. Oops. 2.5. I got some new aprons through Amazon. Last time I borrowed Lindsay's apron. And I think they made a mistake because I actually got 4 aprons, 2 different colors like this for $10 through Amazon. And it's a pretty nice material. I think they sent me double. I think it was supposed to be 2 aprons for $10. Okay, let's test this again. Well, it's just not hot yet. Oh, yep, it's getting there now. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and season the chicken. Just put some of this kosher salt over it. It's nice and thick. Put a little bit of pepper. I don't like a lot of pepper on my food. But we'll put a little bit of pepper here. This isn't coming out very fast, just so you know. I didn't put that much on. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the pan. I can hear it now. And of course, as all of you know, not to reuse this pan because it's not good to put anything else on raw chicken. So we'll let that cook and get brown. Let's see what else we have here. Now in the recipe it says to add the sausage and continue to cook until lightly brown. Lindsay said that it's best to take the chicken out. If there's anything to drain from the chicken, drain it. Put the sausage in, let it brown, and then add the chicken back in. She said she's tried it the way they suggest, but then the sausage doesn't get brown as quick. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna brown this, then I'm gonna put it into a little bowl, put the sausage in, brown that, then throw it back in the pan. I gotta wait here for a moment. We got the garlic ready. The chicken broth is ready. So we get all of this ready to go to add here in a little bit. I got my grater. Gotta put that over here. I'm just gonna sprinkle some of this on. If it calls for 1/4 of a cup, 1/8 of a cup, it would almost be just a little over 1/16 of a cup. Be a little over a tablespoon actually. I don't know. Let's see. Something brown in there. I think what I'll do is put about 2 tablespoons of this on, just to give it some color. Okay, I'm going to stir this up a little bit. Here's an interesting thing, you know, I just said I didn't like to eat a lot of garlic, but listen to this. The combined effects on reducing cholesterol and blood pressure, as well as the antioxidant properties, may reduce the risk of common brain diseases like Alzheimer's disease and dementia. Summary, garlic contains antioxidants that protect against cell damaging and aging. So maybe I should load up on this because I'm getting to the age where, you know, I could have dementia. Some days I feel like I have dementia. So a little garlic may just do the trick. Who cares if I have bad breath? At least I can think straight. I'm going to go ahead and measure out the Cajun seasoning. Lindsay says she puts the whole thing in there, and it's calling for 1.5 tablespoons. So by golly, whoops, that's the wrong one. I want the 1/2 tablespoon and the full tablespoon. So we got 1.5 tablespoons there. Got a little chicken broth going on in here. As you can see, I'm going to brown these a little bit. There's no browning yet, but they are getting cooked. Okay, the chicken's not brown yet, but I'm going to drain it. Get some of the excess broth out of there. It's cooked good enough now that I think I can add the sausage and let them brown together. So here is the Polska kielbasa. I used Hillshire, 14 ounce, and it said to cut it kind of like diagonal. So here's a bowl of diagonal sausage. So it's going to be like pretty big pieces. Whoops, just about lost that. We'll put that in there with those. Now they can brown together and the flavor mix together. So I'll let those cook for a while, maybe 10 minutes or so, and I'll be right back with you. I'm back. I didn't follow my own directions. I never took the chicken out of the pan. I just drained it, browned it for a while, and then I threw the sausage in. And the sausage seems to be browning okay. Looking good. So it's all in what you want to do. I'm going to cook it just a little bit longer. As you can see, the chicken's getting browned, the sausage is getting more brown. You don't want things to dry out. I'm going to give it a few more minutes, then I'm going to throw the garlic in with it. It says 4 cloves of garlic minced. I wonder if I could have bought just regular minced garlic. I don't know if that would have done the same. I'll have to check with Lindsay on that. The one thing good with this sausage is it is fully cooked. So you don't need to worry whether you cook it long enough. It's already cooked. It's like a hot dog. You know, you can eat those raw, even though I wouldn't recommend it. But it is fully cooked. So we're pretty much just warming it through. I'm going to go ahead and add the garlic now. My little minced garlic. Put that in. And then it says to cook it for a few more moments with the garlic in it. That smells good with the garlic in it. It smells really good. So here in a few minutes, we're going to add the chicken broth, which is a quart, which would be 32 ounces. Whoops. Heavy cream, 2½ cups. The dried pasta, which is 16 ounces. And the Cajun seasoning, which is right here. So I'm going to add those here in just a moment. So a quart is 32 ounces if I'm correct. And you want to make sure you have a big enough skillet, a deep enough skillet, so you don't have to use any other cooking pot. Okay, we're going to pour that in there. And this is going to be pretty high up. Let's see. Yep, this pan is just about big enough. Put the Cajun seasoning. 1½ tablespoons. Stir that around. Let's see. Chicken broth, heavy cream, dry. Oh, don't want to forget the dried pasta. I think I'm going to stir this around before I put the pasta in there, just to get that seasoning mixed in. Get it all mixed around in there. It's pretty full in here. This will make quite a few meals for Doug. And me. I mean, I'll eat it too. Now I'll pour the 16 ounces of pasta in there. Stir it around. So that's what's going to cook those noodles, is in that heavy cream and chicken broth. Let's see what it says now. Stir together and bring to a simmer over medium-high heat. So let's go. I'm going to turn that to about medium-high. We'll bring it to a simmer. And then we will reduce the heat to low and let it cook for 15 to 20 minutes. You want to make sure that that pasta gets soft, that it's not hard. Because the chicken's cooked, the sausage is cooked, so it's just a matter of making sure that your pasta gets cooked. This is going to be good, folks, and there's going to be a lot of it. This is one of Jack's favorite meals, so I'm sure he'll be heading down over the hill for it. And at the end is when we're going to stir in the Parmesan cheese in there again. I didn't have a whole block of shredded. I actually had to borrow that off of Lindsay. So I weighed the rest. Together these make about 4 ounces, which is what it's calling for. And 4 ounces of Parmesan cheese doesn't mean it's half a cup. You got to weigh it out because it's not the same thing.
Are you loud in the house?
Wait, not yet. Almost ready. Let me see.
Well, we can. We just can't make noise.
So it's now coming to a simmer. It's boiling a little bit. So now I'm going to cover it. Let it cook on low for about 15 to 20 minutes, and I'll be right back. It's down to the last 2 minutes, and I have tested the noodles from time to time to make sure they're getting soft. But right now, I'm going to slowly put in the Parmesan cheese. So open this up. Let me see here. Did it say to remove from heat? Yep. Remove pot from heat. Let's move this over here. because it's going to stay hot on that burner for a while. So I'm going to slowly put this in. Tell you what, the best thing would be to go like that. Do a little bit there at a time. And this sauce should thicken up as it sits. Sprinkle some of my grated Parmesan on there. Let me see what I think of that before I add any more Parmesan. Oh, it's good. I can add a little bit more. Add the parsley. I think 1 tablespoon is going to cut it. Since it's not the fresh, called for 1/4 of a cup. I'll see what it looks like here. Let me see, maybe just a little bit more. Doug and I are going to have this for lunch, and probably for dinner, and the next day lunch, and the next day dinner. So let me just see here. I'm going to try a little piece of chicken. Very good. Very good. Has a good flavor. Oops. Oops. So just make sure the noodles are cooked. The noodles are perfect. About 20 minutes, stovetop. I'm going to cover it up now. I'm going to let it cool. I'm going to put it in the fridge. We're going to have a delicious lunch tomorrow. I can't help but stay. I'm going to try a piece of sausage now. Good. The perfect thing would be to get the chicken, the penny noodles, and the sausage all together in one big delicious bite. Oh my, I could have a whole bowl of this, but it's 9:05 at night. I better not. Better not. Better not. Oh my, that's really good. I don't think it needs any more Parmesan. There again, you could sprinkle the Parmesan on your bowl of whatever you want. You can add that. I probably didn't use quite 4 ounces, but sprinkle it to taste. You can put more parsley, you can put more pepper, salt, whatever you want. Goodness, I could eat a whole bowl right now. Dagnabbit. If only I were younger and my metabolism was quite higher than it is now, I would. I'd be sitting here right now having a bowl of this stuff and wouldn't have a care in the world. But that is not to be. So I will see you tomorrow. Doug and I will have a bowl and eat it right in front of you while we have lunch. Talk to you soon. I don't know if you'll want to put yours in for a little bit longer, but it seems like I put yours in for 2 minutes and started halfway through, and I didn't have quite as much on mine, so I put it in for about 1.5 minutes and started halfway through. And this recipe makes 10 servings, and it's about 600 calories a serving. I don't know, this might be even under a serving. So right here, we have about 600 calories on our plates. Sausage, chicken, noodles, all kinds of goodies. So you want to say a prayer before we eat, don't you?
We probably should.
Okay, go ahead.
Father, it's a beautiful day outside. We just thank you for the beauty that you surround us with. We thank you for the beauty of Jesus Christ. And we just thank you also for your grace that we need every day. And also for this food. I thank you for my wonderful wife who prepares it so well. Just bless it, Lord, to our bodies so we may continue to do your work. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Yay, God, let's eat.
That's it.
So, let's see. still just as good reheated, isn't it, Doug?
Very good.
Very good. You had mentioned last night that maybe you would want to put hamburger in, but I don't think it would give it the same flavoring.
It might not.
Now, you could put, I think they had were smoked sausage. Lindsay substituted smoked sausage for the kielbasa sausage. So you might be able to put, you know what else might be good if you wanted more of a hamburger texture? Because you're thinking more like hamburger helper.
I guess so.
That would be, maybe the honey sausage, the maple syrup, not the maple, what is it, maple flavored sausage. You know, like Jimmy Dean.
Honey maple in it.
Is it? Is that what it is? Jimmy Dean, where you can crumble that up, fry it up. Now that might give it some good flavoring. Or I'll just fry up a little bit of hamburger on the side and you can throw it on top. So thanks for joining, Doug, I almost said Jack. I'm so used to saying thanks for joining Jack and I today. So thanks for joining Doug and I today for lunch with the one pot Cajun Chicken Alfredo recipe given to us by our daughter. Please don't forget to send me your recipes. If I use one of your recipes on my show, you'll receive a $25 check. So have a great week, everyone.